asked to you.
Yeah, so we talk about the relational data database that would have SQL database and SQL Server. Um, Now we over here we have US East, and then you said that this can be replicated to US West, which can also be known as secondary database, and US East can be primary database.
Yeah.
And so it will act as failover, meaning if one goes down, the other one is there for support, and can also be replicated to central US.
Yeah. Yeah.
And uh, so so the database can be can have encryption. It can have internal and public access. So like we can classify the data based on if it's internal or public. We can mask just like numbers and an asterisk and then numbers, and we can also have injection of malicious protection. By
Good. So let's see now the feature one by one. So we will go back and let's create a server first.
okay. Oh,
Go to a search box and type SQL Server.
SQL Server.
Click add.
Add. Canada North.
Give it a name. Maybe
SQLDB.
say SQL DB or SQL SRV1 or SQL SRV primary. PRI. Yeah. SRV.
Okay.
Only lowercase will work.
Okay.
SQL hyphen PRI hyphen. Correct. So it is STS, and then give it a username SQL admin.
SQL admin.
Password same. Password at the rate 123. Go for a networking. Say no. Additional setting. So here it is saying that do you want to protect yourself from the malicious you can say injection? I say yes. So for that they have a service called Azure Defender. Okay. So just start the free trial. Cool. Go ahead and say review and create. So you are now creating a server one, right?
Yeah.
And this server is in East US zone.
Okay. So this will be a specific server. We don't have to create this in virtual machine.
No, we do not need. It's a PaaS service.
Okay.
Wait, let it come.
Sorry.
It takes some 5 minutes, huh? Wait.
Yeah. Construction going on?
Yeah, no, it's over now. So the next festival is on 7th, but hope till the time. Yeah, it's good. It's done. Go to the resource. Now look at that where your server is. It is in It is in East US.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct? Now, let's say for an example, I want to create a replica.
Okay.
Okay, replica means by chance if one server down, I should
Yeah.
have a I should have
Backup.
another server which should be able to take over the load. So
Right.
there is something you will see a failover group in a setting. In a setting, in a menu side,
Yeah. Failover.
second option is just failover group.
Yeah.
So currently say that you do not have any group. Let's create a group first.
Okay.
So give it a name, for example, uh, TPCS DB group. All should be a small.
DB group. Okay.
All should be a small.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Cool. Now you have to configure the secondary server. So let's create a new server. Give it a name SQL. What is the first name? SQL. SQL.
We,
Let's say SEC means secondary. Uh, SRV01. Same username.
okay. Okay. 01. Username would be SQL admin.
Admin. Now this time I want to select the West US. Okay.
Okay. US West. West 2.
West US. Yeah. Cool. Click select. So now I do not have any database right now, right?
Yeah.
So it said that you remember we have an option that how the database can go and add. So if you have a database, then you can go and add that. But it is all my choice that out of the 10 database, only 2 I think important. So only 2 will get replicate.
Right.
Okay, so I do not have a database. So leave it and go back to your failover group. And just say, and how much time it will take for replication. It's a 1 hour.
Okay.
Okay, so any changes make in a primary server, it will go and
Replicate.
replicate to the secondary server within 1 hour, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so click create.
So what happened if primary server goes down?
Yeah, it will
But
automatically fail over to secondary server.
and then replicate in 1 hour?
No. Whatever you make changes in a primary server, that
Yeah.
changes will keep replicating to secondary server.
Okay.
Okay, na? Otherwise, if your primary is down, then secondary will not have a data. Na?
Okay. So what is the 1 hour again?
1 hour is a replication time.
Okay.
If you create one table, that table will take 1 hour to replicate to the secondary server.
Okay.
Okay.
But what happened? But what happened if the primary server goes down and the replication stops or no?
So that is why it is saying that you have a 1 hour fault tolerance. So you have to agree
Okay.
that maybe 1 hour, whatever the 1 hour, let's say for example, 30 minute, there is a replication happened at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Okay. And your primary goes down at 10:30. So how much data you have lost? 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because 10 o'clock the replication, last replication happened, right? So
Okay.
your 30 minute
So okay.
data
So
will not be available on a secondary.
so it's this is I think incremental
It's
backup,
an
right?
incremental, yes.
Okay.
So click refresh.
Click refresh.
No, right? So you will now say you have a primary server, which is a SQL PRI.
Mm-hmm.
You have a secondary server, which is a SQL secondary,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Your failover is already configured automatic. So whenever the primary goes down, the
Yeah.
failover already happen automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you have a grace period which can be
Oh,
60 minutes, right?
right.
So every 60 minutes, so you can have to convince yourself that by any chance if primary goes down, your data will not lost, your data will still be the primary, right? So
Right.
whenever the primary is come back, your data will be back. But the only
Okay.
thing is that it will not replicate to the secondary within 1 hour.
Right.
Okay. And how many database you want to replicate, that count it will show in the last. All clear?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is
Yeah.
how you configure the high availability for the server first.
Okay.
Okay. Now go back to the overview. Now
Yep.
below you have a feature.
Yeah.
Scroll down. So what is the first feature? You can connect
Active.
it with the Active Directory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your by default auditing is enabled.
Mm-hmm.
Automatic tuning is enabled, so
Mm-hmm.
that whenever your database is growing very big, it will automatically optimize the performance of the data.
Yeah.
Okay. And auditing you can go ahead and enable if you want to track the events. So when you click the auditing, it will let you to enable the feature. So you can make it on,
Yeah.
and you can check what all things you are going to use that for, where the log will go and save. I said that the log can go and save in a log analytics or a
Mm-hmm.
event hub, or might be in a storage. So let's select a storage.
So this auditing is if any changes being made on a SQL
Yes,
database,
yes,
it's for that.
everything will get recorded there. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Okay.
So when you select a storage, definitely you have to configure the storage account also, right?
Mm.
Correct. So configure the storage account. Now, so you have to give a name. So click create. Just select that one. Yeah, I think this will work. Yeah. Cool. So maybe you can give a retention, like for example, uh, 5 days.
Okay.
Cool. So whatever the log is there, it will go ahead and access that, and then you have an access key to through which you can go and access. Okay. So leave it primary and just click OK. So now you have
Okay.
to figure your event.
Mm-hmm.
Every event will go and store
Log
in
in.
that storage. Okay. So click
Yeah.
save now.
Okay.
Wait, let it save. Yeah. Go back to overview again. Scroll down. Scroll down. So you have configured few features, right? Now you
Mm-hmm.
also configured the failover group. Now you
And
can
track
also
finder.
configure the encryption. You remember last one,
Yeah.
the encryption. So currently it is a managed key by Azure, but if you have your own vault, you can again use that vault key to encrypt the data which is stored in the database.
So it got enabled after auditing is configured.
Now all are a different feature, not related to each other.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Mm.
correct. So again,
Okay.
you remember the customer managed key, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is a common fundamental. Now in a feature, again click the feature.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've seen all the features, right? Which all feature you have? For malicious intention, you have a Windows Defender, right? For
Yeah.
authentication and authorization, you have an Active Directory. For a performance, you have a automatic tuning.
Yeah.
For a logging, you have an auditing. For high availability, you have a failover. For data security, you
Okay.
have something which is called as a trans
Transparent.
data encryption. Clear? Right?
Yeah.
So these all are the features which is giving you by the Azure by default
Okay.
to protect the data which is stored there in a relational database. Correct?
Okay.
Go a little bit up, scroll up. Yeah. And click Azure Defender for SQL. Now here you can go ahead and have an option to scan your database periodically. So it will keep your database scanning once in a week.
Okay.
Okay. And it will send a scan report to the email address wherever you want to.
All right.
Correct? Right?
Mhm.
So these all are the feature which you get when you are working on a
Deployment.
Azure
Deployment.
SQL as a relational database. Now we are going to create a database. So go back to home now.
Okay.
You understand the server first?
Mm-hmm.
Now we are going to understand the database. So go to the database. We have a
Yeah.
SQL database.
Sorry, hold on. Yeah.
Let's create a database. Good. Canada North. Give it a database name, maybe a HRDB. So let's say it is for a HR department. Now where you want to create, let's say I want to create in a primary server, correct?
Yeah.
So select that one. Now it is asking that do you want to create an elastic pool? You remember elastic pool
Mm-hmm.
where we can go ahead and use my DTU,
Okay.
right? So what the DTU you are going to select? Now below is a DTU option.
Right.
Click create new elastic pool. Give it a name.
Uh.
Uh, Good. Now you have to select what DTU do you require, right? So
Mm-hmm.
below is a DTU configuration. DTU, remember, we have a compute, a storage, and a memory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead and click configure elastic pool. And now you are configuring that what you need. Do you need a
Okay.
standard? Do you need a basic? So let's say I
Mm-hmm.
want to click the premium.
Yeah.
Yeah, click premium. So
I can
premium
click.
will give you faster performance. Oh, premium is not available for your SKU. Okay, no worry. So here you can select that. I want, let's say 100 DTU or whatever the things you want, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
maximum how much data you can go and store there. And look at the price this side.
Yeah. Oh
So
wow.
this is going to give you almost $300 approximately, Canadian dollar. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that it's all okay. Just go ahead and say. So maybe you can decrease the DTU size because anyhow we are not going to use so much.
I
I think
can change
100
it.
DTU is a minimum. Yeah.
I can change it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So this is okay.
Yeah.
This is the minimum size and look at the price now.
143.
Okay. Correct. Go ahead and say, okay. Say next networking. So how the database is going to be accessed? I say that this can be go ahead and access using the public endpoint.
Okay.
Okay. So you do not have to do anything else. Just say next. And here it will go ahead and it is asking that how do you want to use the data? Do you have any backup or do you want to use my sample?
Mm-hmm.
And do you have nothing? So let's say I say that I want to go with your sample.
Okay.
So it will automatically load one table for you which has a
Okay.
some fake data. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and say next. Say review and create. So now we are working on a database component. Okay.
Okay.
So remember, for a security point of view, you have so many options, correct?
Yeah. How long does it take?
It should take 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay. How's the weather cold?
No, it's a okay weather, but rest of the India it's getting colder.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but in a Bangalore it was always uh, common temperature,
Mm-hmm.
but rest of the India it's a starting of the winter season now.
Nice. Do you like winter?
Yeah, it's okay. It's good. It's cool. Okay, so go to the resource now.
Yep.
Now let's before doing anything, we are going to use a tool to connect this database. So go to a Google and type
Yeah.
SQL Azure SQL data tool.
Warehouse, you have to.
No, a tool
Which one
called
is it?
Azure Data Studio. Just type Azure Data Studio
Okay.
and download it. Windows one. So top one, the installer, first one. Yeah. No, you have a three. Yeah, exactly. It's downloading. I think it's downloading. Yeah. I think it's done. You go to your download folder. Yeah, launch that. Click finish. Good. So here it is asking you that, hey, do you want to create a new connection? I say yes. Just close this one, everything, and go to a start. You have a new connection. Now it is going to ask you that, do you have a server name or IP? So you have to first go and check your server name. Go back to your portal.
Okay. Yeah.
You get a server name there, SQL Server PRI. Just copy that.
Yeah.
Go and paste there. Then select SQL authentication. Yeah. Give a username SQL admin.
Yeah.
Give a password. Password at the rate 123.
Okay.
Now select the database. So yeah, it is saying that currently this particular IP is not added it. You cannot access the database. So you have to authorize that. So click add an account on the top.
Yeah.
So you have to log in one more time. Just click your account ID. This one or top one?
Uh,
Yeah. You already have, no? Raja Hussain
uh,
1943 hotmail.com.
I don't know which one is it. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Gmail.
Gmail. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why is it opening in Google Chrome.
Maybe it's a default browser for you.
Maybe. Okay. Let me just check again. Copy, and where did we go? Over here.
Studio. Yeah. So you have to type your username.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead to
Okay.
back to your data studio.
Okay.
Well, now just click close. Say okay. Now you can go to your database and select your database. So we have only HRDB, right? Click that one
Yeah.
and click connect.
Connect. Okay.
So now you are inside a SQL server, and now whatever you are seeing there is a tables. Below is a tables.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can maybe check. So let's say, for example, go to a new query. On the top, you have a new query
Yeah.
and run a command. Select a space, a star, a space. Yeah, a star from customer. Yeah. Just click run button. It's a customer or customers.
Uh, maybe spelling is wrong. No. The US customer. That's right.
Yeah, just say run. Can you go back and check? See
Okay, I'm
you.
gonna see.
No, it does not matter here.
Customer. Customer.
Oh, you have a multiple. Can you go back? Go back. You have a one is in sales. What is that? Sales LT.
Yeah.
Go back to again a query and say sales. Just type sales. Yeah, select the first one. Dot, no space, dot, and now type customer. Yeah, say range. Click correct one. So it will show you the fake data. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by the way, now you know how to create the server, how to create the database,
Yeah.
how to access the database from outside the Azure using the different tools.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? Cool. Now just
Yes. Okay.
go back to your Azure portal. Now this is only since you are not a database guy, so we don't focus here. Now here, scroll down in overview.
Mm-hmm. Overview. Okay.
Click overview. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you are able to see the whole statistics below.
Yep. 10%.
Yeah. So how much data you consume and all you can see, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see a features.
Yeah.
Cool. So again, the same thing is application here, right? Now, if you
Mm-hmm.
want to enable the dynamic data masking below it,
Yeah. Right here. Yeah.
right? So what the data masking does that? It will it will
Hide the
you
data.
can see that which column do you want to mask for an example, right? So
Yeah.
let's say, for example, I want to mask, let's say, a password, or I want to mask any of the column which contains the sensitive data,
Mm-hmm.
maybe email, maybe a postal code, right? So all these, whatever the information do you mask, do you want to mask, just you have to select the add mask option.
Okay. So, for
Correct?
example, last name.
Yeah. So your last name will be get masked from the view. Look at that, how it will go and show that, right? So when
Yeah.
anyone who do not have a admin privilege,
Mm-hmm.
okay, if they try to perform the query, the value
Mm-hmm.
will be shown like that.
Yeah.
Correct. So this is
Okay.
how the call center people are, who is doing a customer service in a bank, they
Mm-hmm.
themselves cannot see the data.
Right.
Correct. Only the people who has a full admin privilege on the table, they can only see the whole data. Otherwise, normal agent level, they do not have a privilege to see the data, they only see the mask data.
Mm-hmm.
Correct now. So my date of birth, my postal code, my credit card number, they
Mm-hmm.
all see in a mask format.
Right.
Correct. So this is the one of the very biggest advantage when you are working with the Azure cloud. Go back to the overview again. Say okay. Correct. So scroll down now.
Yeah.
Now, yeah. So so we have a feature which is called dynamic data masking. Now, if you want, you can also replicate your data to a secondary server. This database,
Mm.
currently this database, you remember, it is only on a primary server, correct?
Correct.
Right now. So maybe if you want, you can replicate this data if you like to. Otherwise, it's all okay.
To West or Central.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you could change it to readable,
Yeah, yeah,
non-readable.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Cool, right? So for a high availability point of view, you can also go ahead and check your data, that how it will go and behave in the case if you are working bad. So I hope that now you understand that when we are working on a relational database, this is definitely a very important database where we can go ahead and protect ourselves from a different kind of a scenarios, where we can
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and enable the encryption, where we can go ahead and enable the dynamic data masking, we can
Yeah.
go ahead and enable the other features like a Windows Defender, which will give me the full-fledged injection free mechanism
Yeah.
to be work on. Correct,
Or
no?
application.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right, right. So this is how you as a security consultant, first you have to understand the data, how the data going to be stored by the organization into the Azure, right?
Yeah.
You must understand that data, whether they are storing in a unstructured format, a structured format. If it is an
Mm-hmm.
unstructured format, it is a normal way or it is a big data, correct? Then you have to understand that if they are storing the data in a big data format, how the replication will work, how the
Mm-hmm.
encryption will work. If they say that no, I want to store the data in a relational database, then again you have a lot of feature to be checked, whether are you working on a high availability mode or are you not
Mm-hmm.
working on a high availability mode, right? are you
Yeah.
are you are you using a defender, are you using the encryption, are you using the data masking? Sometimes customer himself they are not aware,
Mm-hmm.
correct? So when they are not aware, what the technical people does that they just go, you just ask 80% of the common people who is either learning Azure or they're working
Mm-hmm.
on Azure, they only go and immediately create a database with the just next and say finished.
Mm-hmm.
They give the URL to the developer and the developer start working on a query and all, right? They
Right.
don't care about all other feature because they are not aware,
Mm-hmm.
correct now? So by any chance if something goes wrong, customer say that hey, Azure is bakwas,
Mm-hmm.
right? We don't like Azure. Why should not I go to AWS? AWS also have the same feature,
Right.
right? There again, you will when you go there, if you not use their feature, you will again dissatisfy.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? Huh? Many times, customer is go pitched off just because the mistake of their consultant, which advising them the customer, because they totally depend on the technical people. Now the technical people are engineer; they have a brain as an engineer, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are not consultant, they are not aware about the consultancy, so they only talked about that in the very core technical language. Yes
Right.
sir, I can do that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you do that, but what is the implications you have?
Right.
Sometimes they create a very high DTU and because of that customer give a huge bill.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the whatever the turnover the company, they get the bill double than the turnover the company itself,
Mm-hmm.
and then they fight the legal battle, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Right now, so you are playing a very important role. Yes, you are a security consultant, but at the same time you have to advise the customer to organize themselves very clearly. Until and
Mm.
unless they do not organize, they are not going to use the service. They have not used the service, then your security will not work,
Mm.
correct, huh? Right? So these all things which you have to now Raja, you have to go and tell the customer, uh, uh, because you work as a consultant, you are a
Yeah.
security, you have a specialty, you are not a common guy,
Mm-hmm.
you are carrying one specialty. So when I am going to an specialist doctor, i i
Mm-hmm.
I definitely expect that even they are not expert in the other field, but they can suggest me,
Yeah.
correct? Now they are a cancer specialist, but they can still suggest about something else, because when he become an specialist, he also understand the other 10 components, right?
Correct.
Correct now. While the common doctor, they are not a specialist, so they only limit themselves in all the common world.
Mm-hmm.
Clear?
Yeah.
Correct. So now tomorrow we have a last topic of the data architecture, that is a non-relational database.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
So we will go and understand how the non-relational database. Then after that, you have a network architecture, and then the last one, which is a app architecture. So I hope that by next week we will be okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So let's connect tomorrow again. Delete everything. Go back. Select. No, not here. Not here. Not here. Ah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So now you know how to create delete. Huh?
Yeah.
Click delete. See yes. Great. So wait. It will take some time because these are the heavy services. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chalo. See you tomorrow. Then.
Thank you.
Hmm.